All right. It says I'm live. So bear with me. I've been fighting a GoPro and I think it's going to win before it's all said and done. Yeah, this freaking thing, I swear. You try to do something nice, you try to do something to make the picture look better, and then, you know, you get in a fight with a GoPro. That's what I get for trying to. God, it's too close. Man, maybe. The only problem is, see, I'm looking at you and the computer screen is there. So I gotta go back and forth. It's one of the first world problems, right? So let me just do a little. How you doing today, Jeremy? How you been living? You good? I'm gonna get a drink on order. What's up, Jim? You doing good? Did I get it? You know, how about that? Oh, I think it's still there. You know, the least I could do is pick my nose on camera, right? Professional. My wife said I was professional earlier because I was going to. I bought a dry erase board, and I have the cardboard box from where it came, and it came in. It came in all bent to heck and back too, but I paid $20 for it, so I'm not gonna send it back anyway. So I have it. It had been sitting like right here downstairs, and I was just gonna shoot in front of it, but she's like, "No, we got to move it," So yeah, work, man. I get you. I got some. I got some stuff tomorrow. Yeah, yeah. This ain't the full time gig. You know, Jeffrey, how you doing? It is hot today. I don't know what it's like in y'all's parts of the country. Oh, I hear my 4 year old. Yeah, I've been doing all right. It's just hot. Went and played 18 holes today, and hello, Irish. Went and played 18 holes today, and I'm a little tired from that, but I shot okay today, so I'm all right. I'm happy with that. Which I'm working on. I think I'm gonna do a channel with that. It's like, yeah, why not? I like playing golf. Might as well film that and put that on YouTube too. Like, why not? Oh, I saw where like Arkansas and Kentucky and all of that are under the watch. It's going to be down here tomorrow. So I saw, like, can you click? Let's see, pin, hide. So I saw where people can do things. I don't know. I got to figure out this live stream stuff. You know, it's kind of fun. I enjoy it. So yeah, how did y'all? Yeah, you too. I mean, if you're under the tornado watch, you're the one that needs to stay safe. What? The off-camera sweet tea. Hey, baby. No, no, you can't get a hug right now. Sorry, breaking the fourth wall. Illinois is cool today. Well, that front may be going through. It's like 85 degrees here today. It's hot, even for us. It's really warm. It was really nice. Like I enjoyed. It's been a really nice week. I think this coming up weekend it's going to get back cold again. Which I mean, it still is the 1st of March, so it's bound to happen, right? Crips, no, not in the Birmingham area. I'm sure there's like one or two maybe that um, are. Of course, it wants me to do an update. Of course, there's probably one or two in Birmingham, but it's not really that old, so it wouldn't qualify to me as like a really cool place to go to. I'd like to go to something like that, but overall, like tomorrow, you're in the 40s. Yeah, that's where we're going to be Saturday once all this comes through. Like next Saturday. Yeah, the cribs would be cool to go to, but I mean, other than the one I did with George Jones, which I don't, I guess that's a crypt. Is that how that works? Where they put a bunch of, where they have them all stored? Is that, or is that a mausoleum? A crypt is the. I'm a little weird with my facts here. So the crypt is the. Okay, so that's what that is. Yeah, there's a couple of those, but not in Birmingham. Like you really got to travel around to get to the rocking chair one. There's one in Huntsville that I went to. She's buried in one. I'd like to get to the Harley Davidson. I saw where somebody commented that somebody was buried in their Harley, and there's the Cadillac lady, and I'm in Daytona, and it's in the 80s, and it's Bike Week. Wow! So you've got something else in your red cup. I have sweet tea. So cheers to that. Enjoy that. That sounds like a blast. We're going to we're going down to see the mouse at Disney in November. So I'll be down that way, but it'll be a while. No, I haven't done Hank Williams, and the reason I don't want to, I mean, I could go. I was saying, I may have been commenting to somebody this week about that. That like I can go to more than just where he's buried because he's closer to where I live. So I kind of want to do the whole. He was born here, like he met his wife here. They got married there, and I could run up to the Opry and do the whole thing with that, and kind of do like almost a whole life thing instead of just walking around and pointing out the grave. I want to go do the Ferrari thing. Really sounds cool. Like there's all those stories. I don't know, like even the lady in the rocking chair. I don't know if that's even true. That's just at this point, it's urban legend. You just kind of take it for what it is. Like it's almost clickbait because we don't. She's supposed to be buried in a rocking chair, but I would imagine that by this point in time, she's probably not in the rocking chair anymore. Well, maybe some part of it is if it's actually in there. So yeah, I hope to do all kinds of things towards in November around the Orlando, that kind of area. The Ferrari, I think the Cadillac lady is in Illinois, I think, or Ohio, and the Harley Davidson guys on the other one, they're one of the other states, and I think somebody's in the Texas buried in something like that too. Yeah, see the Conway there was a front coming through when I was doing that video, and man, that was blowing me all up. I was having trouble seeing and looking and like getting my, and plus I thought like I knew like because you can do the find a grave thing and it'll put the pin, it's like right there. But um as far as I thought he may have been out in the dirt. I didn't know he was you know, where he was in the corner. And I just noticed too when I watched it back. Normally I don't watch it, but I did this one for some reason. And below his name, there was like this little small like plaque that I think says like this is the grave of Conway Twitty or something like that. Yeah, the like I watch a lot of the nomad people. I'm interested in that whole van travel thing. Like it's kind of a weird username. I will say the ultra fact that seems like if I said that in the wrong context, it wouldn't be the right way to say it. But I really do dig that kind of lifestyle. Like as I don't know what's that quote, most men leave quiet lives of desperation or something like that, where it's like you always kind of want to go or something like that. Oh, the birdhouse. I got you. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it'd be neat if we could, as far as the nomadic stuff. It would be cool. I would like that. Well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy the work. It's still weird that I do something that people enjoy. Like maybe I don't have enough faith in myself that I just kind of put it up there and everybody likes it. And nomads are cool. You're right. I think it's really neat. And just that the ability to just let go and just kind of travel and see what happens. And like to me, that is just the coolest idea. So is Frosty, the Frosty Snowman guy, is he the dude that did the voice acting, or is he, um, So Estelle, is she the oh, what is her um who does she play? I'm blanking on the name. But yeah, the Nomad stuff, that's cool. Cheers to that. I guess I could look it up, couldn't I? Oh, that's who that is. Okay. I got you. Yeah, that's who that is. Like I just looked it up when you typed it in there. Yeah, that would be a neat one to go to. Yeah, because that's in LA and that's a really good. Okay, so he was the voice actor. I got you. Well, the yeah, he's the happy birthday guy, right? Is it? It's not Jimmy though, is it? Is that the guy? You would think they've already had Golden Girls conventions. Like it just seems like something that would be in the nomenclature, right? Like there's Dragon Con and Comic Con and all that stuff. No, Buried Alive would be crazy though, wouldn't it? Like that seems more of a I don't really do that kind of stuff, but that's a really cool thing to think about. Of course, how would you know? You know, you hear those stories of the scratches in the coffin and all that stuff, but I don't know how you I mean, you could almost make that story up for any like random thing, I guess. Because they used to do the bells and all that. That would be kind of neat to do a story on the bells. So yeah, it makes sense. I guess that would be in Chicago. I'm glad that city's opening back up too. They needed to. I know it sucks that Betty's gone. Like, I mean, she was 100, so she had a pretty good run. Like she had a pretty good run. She beat the average age anyway. So coming up this Thursday too, I'm pretty sure I forgot to say that Donna Summer, she's going to be the next one up. I was able to get up there and do that this week. And there's a couple more I'm going up there to do. Yeah, I bet there was a big deal because like she passed away, then Bob Saget died not too long after that, and oh Louis Anderson too. I still hate the Louis Anderson man. I love comedy, so that was a tough one. I was gonna wear my Burt Kreischer shirt. I don't know if anybody's comedy fans out there, but yeah, I went and saw him this week. I actually had made a post too this week that I was going to do. I think I did it yesterday or day before yesterday. Everything's kind of running together this week, and I was actually like, I'm going to let people know that I'm doing a live thing this week because you know some people are like, well, I missed it and all that, but I'm glad y'all are here anyway. So it's on them if they missed it, right? You know, I don't know. The few videos that showed up in my feed on YouTube were more. This is where she might be buried, or this is like with the arrows and all that stuff. But I haven't seen Linwood. Hello, like I haven't seen any of that. I don't know if she was cremated or what. I'm surprised Grim Life hasn't done that. Betty White. I'm pretty sure cremated, ashes given to Glenn Kaplan, the man in charge of Betty's health care directive. So now we know. I agree. A lot of the famous graves are done over. Like somebody was asking to go do the James Dean thing, and I was like, yeah, I can't. Like I might do like a little short or something if I go up there, but I'm not going to do a whole spiel because that thing's been played to death. Like no pun intended, but it's just like it seems like everybody that kind of does like what we do. That's like one of maybe it's almost like a pilgrimage. Like let me go do that to say that I've done it too, but I just don't want to. I just wouldn't want to. I don't know. Kind of like I did the little Miss Nadine's dollhouse grave. And it's just like I saw everybody do it and I'm really close to it. So I was like, well, I'm going to go do it too. And it just, I don't know. After it was done, it was like, here I am just lumping in with everybody else. Like maybe I should do unique, different. And that's kind of when I did the buried in a rocking chair, that kind of thing. So it, like doing that actually inspired me to do something different. Completely. It would have been cool to like. She seemed like a really neat chick. I think she liked to drink a lot and have a good time, as you should. If you have life in prison, he could get buried alive. He requested that some. Well, that's cool. That's a different approach. Like, I mean, really, what's it going to hurt, right? Especially if you've already got life in prison. Yeah, Mr. Rogers. I wonder if that was something to do with that Tom Hanks movie that came out, what, like a year ago or so? Hey, well, use what you got to make your money, right? And get across the. I do watch Faces. You know, the weird thing is I try not like before I started this channel in May of last year. Like I was the guy, like Lamont, Face of the Forgotten, like all the the channels, right? And once I started doing it, I would go do something, and then if they showed up a week later after I'd done it and did it, I'd be like, "Oh man, that's like I did it," and it's like I can't claim it because the hell it's like public property, right? So I just quit watching it because that way I'm not influenced by what I do. Like that stuff seems like they all do great stuff. I just don't want to lump in like if somebody had done Conway Twitty last week from one of those channels, I wouldn't have released it because I just don't want to. I don't know. I don't want to be on that. Like, I don't want to, like, if they're getting a lot of views on it, like, I don't want to be the guy that takes views away from them because they put the work in to get the video. So it's like, well, I'll just do something else. And then a year or so from now, I'll just go back and redo it. Like, I would have scrapped the video completely, just not even put it up. Like, that's how much I try to think about those people too. Like, I know they probably don't care and even know who I am, but I still don't want to I don't know. I won't take anything away from them, especially if it's good. I bet, and I want to get over there one day to Ireland. That looks like the coolest freaking place. Like I know maybe to you, like America seems great, but it's like if you live in the mountains, you don't really think about the mountains, and then if you go to the beach, you're like, oh, this is the coolest place. Like I think, like to me, like Ireland looks like a really cool place. He was from. I said that in the video. Now I can't remember what part of that Mississippi. Yeah, see that. There you go. I think that name suits better. Um, I don't know. The other one was pretty rocking too. I gotta be honest with you. I bet there was nothing in that hometown. Yeah. Oh, the lady from the Cranberries is there. That's cool. It's weird how like you would think. I don't know. So at that place in Mississippi, I bet there's what is it like a one red light kind of town? Is that what? That's what I imagine because it's probably somewhere around the casinos. It's a bummer. Like I did the Vicksburg stuff as far as losing footage and I had just got the new microphone and I wasn't used to the way it worked. So I had went and filmed some of that. And that's why if you watch some of that, it doesn't sound right. That I didn't have the microphone turned right. There's not even a red light. Makes sense. Well, thank you. I'm glad you like it. Like somebody commented this week and said the whole reason that they have a YouTube channel is because of me. And it's like, me? Like, there's like all other kinds of great stuff. Like, I still have this issue of believing, like, I don't know. Like, I don't have enough faith in myself, I guess. I should probably do better than that. I'm glad you like it though. Like it really I try to be as humble as I can, like like it's just me being me out there walking through and doing whatever we do. Like I just want it to seem like it's me and you. We're walking around, like talking about some stuff and, keep it as natural as possible. Oh, okay, so that's what that is. Yeah, the Golden Girls stuff would be cool, especially. Um, well, thank you for saying I do a good job. The Golden Girls stuff would be fun. I've got to get up to Detroit. I know this is a complete side tangent. I've got to get up there and do a on the rest of. We talked about this last week. The Temptations, because I'd done the lead singer Eddie Kendricks, and I want to go do all that. The Pocono racetrack, I really would like to go there. That Tricky Triangle seems really cool. It seems like there's a lot going on. It looks like a really like the fans actually show up for that race. It's not like a phone it in, like it's not really full. Like Pocono looks like it gets full. Which I didn't watch the race today. I'm not a big well, they were in Vegas today, right? Uh, like even Auto Club last week. I know a couple of y'all may not care about this, but I don't like that California track. I'm not a fan of it. And then they said that they're not going to tear it down and make a half mile out of it, which I thought was I don't know. I just don't like the racing there. Like it just don't really live up to what I enjoy watching. It's just another mile and a half circle track that they just all are separate until there's a caution. They race for a little bit, then it's separate again, and it goes from there. That's my NASCAR tangent. Sorry about that. Jeremy did it. I'm gonna try not to do too many of those. Of course, there's only like 10 of us here talking, so if you don't know, it's not that bad of a sport either. It gets a lot of hate more than it should. Like maybe 15, 20 years ago, it was a different sport than what it is now. It's changed a whole lot, a lot. Like it's totally different than what it is now or was then. I mean, if they're giving out free beer, then yeah, most definitely. Yeah, you can't you can't hate on the free beer, right? Like I would like to get up there too to do like the I was watching Robert, traveling Robert, and the whole he just went up through that area and did the Finger Lakes or whatever that's called, and that area of Pennsylvania looks really cool as far as the rocks and it looks really nice up in that area. The Poconos, that's wine country too. So I hope y'all enjoyed Donna Summer this week. That was a really neat cemetery to go to where she's at. She is um like she's in the ground, but it's not um it's behind a gate. It's kind of neat how they have it framed out up there. And I've got to get back. There's another person buried there that I got to go back and do, which I didn't realize till I was there. Is she the supermodel that accidentally fell out of the building? Thank you. Stay golden. That's pretty good. The yeah, she that is that supermodel that was in New York? Because that name doesn't ring a bell, so I'm just kind of fishing for a for somebody. Gia, is that how that's saying? How you say that? How you doing, Rebecca? Sorry, I'm trying to like look up and look down at the same time and not be too bad about it. I guarantee you, though, going back to Pocono, like it looks like they like to get rowdy. They look like they like to have a good time. Oh, okay, that makes sense. See, I don't know who that person is. That's new to me. I don't really. So, what did Angelina? What movie was that? Is she the? No, okay, I see. Hold on, I got you now. So I don't know the name, but I know that face. That makes sense. Okay, I can see Angelina Jolie doing that. They kind of look like in a way. Hollywood didn't mess that up like they did that new Tom Holland movie. Tom Holland, that's Spider Man. I sound like an old dude. Yeah, I'm starting to sound like a dad more and more every day. Um, that makes sense why they would call it that. That I'm terrible. I'm sorry. Like, I guess you can't know everything, right? Or if I knew it, it's just it got file 13 and it's out the back and gone. Yeah. Yeah, talking about like I could see Hollywood ruining a movie like they did the new Tom Holland, the with Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, Uncharted. Had to look that up because I couldn't remember that either. It's one of those days. I played 18 holes earlier, so I'm a little gassed. It's 80 something degrees here, and I'm really not think it's sweet tea. That'll help get me back in the game. Yeah. So I'm glad we got some more people. Everybody's joining. Like I'm glad you enjoy the channel. Like I say that in every video, but I really do mean it. Like 100%. Like at the end of every video, I'm like, thank you guys so much. Like, because I am that thankful. Like that y'all are like, you're awesome, you're great. It's like, I mean, really? Like I still don't have the faith in myself for that. Yeah, the video game is great, but they cast Mark Wahlberg as Scully, the old man, and Tom Holland as Drake, which they don't. Hollywood, you know how they are with video game movies. Like they just can't. The Speaking of that tangent, got to go watch the Batman movie. I heard it was great. I don't know if y'all have heard that or not. Yeah, I don't know where the other Golden Girls are, but that would be a cool. Like I need to put that on my board. That um, yeah, if y'all are just getting here about having my board, but yeah, I don't know where I could look that up. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure we all can. We all have the internet, right? Golden Girls graves. How about we do that? You can visit B. Arthur. She's cremated. Robert is in California. Let's see. Estelle, Hollywood Forever. Alice Ghostly is in Arkansas. Yep. Even Leslie Nielsen has a cameo because he's featured in that. How about that? Like I don't. I've never. I've sent one email to one YouTuber about doing something together, and I never got an email back. But it wasn't to any of the ones that you're probably thinking of. It's a whole different person. But they always say don't meet your idols, so that's probably a good idea. Like I want it to seem like if any one of you guys meet me on the street, like you're gonna be like, oh yeah, that's the same as he's the same as the channel. I mean, I don't know why you would put on a fake. Some of them do seem a little. I mean, I don't want to like put anybody down that I don't know, but they do seem a little different. Yeah, I want to go. Well, now that I know one of them's in Arkansas, I think I will have at least within the next month or two. I can put her on that circle. My circumference circle that I can get to right now. I hope to be going to South Mississippi soon to take care of some stuff down there. There's a couple of people down there I want to go see. Can't say who. I don't want to give it away yet. Like I want it to be a surprise. It's- yeah, Alice would be that would be a cool one to go to. I mean, they all would, to be honest. It's a bummer about the Betty White thing. I mean, I guess it. Yeah, you were telling me about Lisa. Like she's the one in Arkansas too, right? Yeah, she's the other one. That's what I thought. Yeah. She got a Golden Globe for that, or a nomination anyway. That's pretty cool. Officer and a Gentleman. That movie doesn't seem like it came out that long ago, does it? 1982. Like that is weird. Like, I mean, I wasn't even born, so like Ralphie May, I gotta see Ralphie May. Like I was saying, like I just went and saw Bert Kreischer this week, so I love me some comedy. And Ralphie May, Bert has this story about trying to eat, like pay a bill after he eats with him, and Ralphie May runs this tab up. You know, Bert's the struggling comedian years and years ago, and he's like, "I'll get the meal," and Ralphie May's like, "You don't want to do that," and Bert does it, and he just, man, he hammers him on the buffet or whatever he got, from what I can remember. Yeah. You know, I wonder, I bet Ralphie took a very large casket. You know, I don't want to speculate, but I hear also too, you know, because I watch a lot of stuff about, you know, with comedians and stuff, that his wife is not the best, but that is coming from other comedians. So it's one of those, you don't really know what's truth and what's speculation. But there was something to do with the funeral and money. Of course, money's the root of all evil anyway. So God only knows what it does to people, especially if you have a good bit of it. Because Ralphie was successful, no doubt about it. It's just a bummer that he's gone. And it was, you know, due to his large stature. He just couldn't. So he is cremated. Okay, that makes sense. I was There was something else I was looking at this week where they were cremated, and the only way they could be buried, it was his wife. They were buried in a Jewish cemetery, and the only way he could be buried there was since he was cremated to be put next to his wife. And I cannot remember who that was now. I'm telling you, this brain is just not working right today. But yeah, who was that? Now I can't. That's going to bug me, and I'll have to just put it in the comments later if I do remember. Who in the world? My goodness, who was that? Yeah, anyway. So some of the people, I won't try to not dwell on that for too long because then it'll bother me. Some of the people I hope to have coming up soon. I got to get back up to Nashville and go do Joe Diffie. I do know that. I found where he's at. Um, and in the same graveyard, Ernest Tubb is there. And let's see. Trying to think. But Joe Diffie definitely. I don't think I've seen anybody or on a large scale. I have saw there was a couple of videos where people have done it, but they didn't get the traction like I think they deserve, especially if they're like the first, you know. Like I was saying earlier, like those people deserve the views more than say I did it because they kind of were there first. I'm just glad this GoPro is still working. Me and Jeremy were talking about it even before all of this even started, trying something different to make it look a little better. And yeah, it was a fight. You know, I've been up to Johnny's, and it's one of those cemeteries when you go to, like he's on here, he's way on back there. Babe Ruth, the Johnny Cash. While I'm looking at that, they give you, he's in Gate of Heaven, New York. They give you a map. It's one of those cemeteries. Like I don't go to many of those. I did have a lady reach back out from Oak. Oh, what's the one in Atlanta? The big the one where Kenny Rogers is at. I want to say Oakwood, but I don't know if that's right. Kenny Rogers Grave. It is Oakland. That's it. Okay. So yeah, it's in Oakland, and I had a lady reach out to say that she would like to give me a tour of that. So I think I'm gonna take her up on that when it warms up and go back over there and just do a whole, yeah, do a whole tour of the whole cemetery because I didn't even do Margaret Mitchell when I went over there. It was just she's on the same side that you go in that you park at, but it's on the well that way for you guys. I'm gonna go backwards. She's on that side of the cemetery compared to where Kenny's at. Plus, there's a whole um, Potter's Field, and then there's the like the Kenny Rogers side. Then there's the golfer. Um, And let's see what else. There's a whole Confederate thing. Yeah, it's a really cool cemetery, and it's been there for a long, long time. And some of the the mausoleum, or not the mausoleum, but the just the way some of them are senators and governors and mayors, and it's a really cool cemetery. Like, I was really impressed when I was there. It looks like it'd take like a two-part kind of video, I think, unless I make the video 40 or 50 minutes long. I don't really know if anybody wants to watch anything. I feel weird making a video 10 to 12 minutes because it seems like I say most, like the average view duration on a video shows 5 minutes, and that's high. Like the Conway Twitty has a 5 minute average duration. So people are only averaging 5 minutes worth of video out of the 12 or so minutes it is. So I don't even know if somebody would watch 40. I know you guys would, but like overall, should I cut it up, and do multiple parts that way? Just trying to figure out the sauce before make it. And I've been sending some emails to museums too. There's a couple of blues museums, and there's one in Tennessee uh, that I sent an email to make sure I could film in them. I haven't heard anything back, so I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I'm probably going to end up having to call because there's one in particular in Mississippi that I want to get to. But if I can't film in it, I'm sure I could take pictures. And that's another thing I want to ask y'all to comment. Like if I go to a place, like say a museum, because a lot of museums are very particular as far as video, right? They don't want me videoing the thing for you to see. They want you to come there to see it. But not all of you can go to somewhere in Alabama or Mississippi to see it. So that's a whole thing. But it's like if I went in there and took a bunch of pictures and then dubbed over it, would that be something even? I've seen people do it with Graceland. That's why I asked. Like, would people actually be interested to watch that? Because it's not really the video. The I want to go back up to Franklin because I want to do the whole Battle of Franklin. I've got the series where we did Vicksburg, and then I've kind of did the thing at Bryce's Crossroads. So I want to go up to Corinth, and then I want to go to Shiloh, and then I'd like to go to Franklin. And at Franklin, the Battle of Franklin is like there's some really cool stuff up there as far as Civil War stuff. Franklin looks really neat. Bonnie and Clyde would be cool, but like some like somebody commented earlier, I can't remember now, the like certain graves that seem like they get too much. And I feel like, you know, yeah, that ridge. They were talking about like I don't want to get too Civil War nerdy, but like at the Battle of Franklin, up at the Franklin at the house, um, how when the Confederates were charging up the hill, like they just took the cannons and just pointed the cannons like at the people. Like how as a person charging up a hill to take a ridge and you look and all you see are cannons pointed at you. I just don't know the level of like I don't know how you wouldn't have the heart attack before you even got there, much less seeing the cannonball hit you. Like that just seems like a whole different level of gosh, man, war is crazy, isn't it? I mean, speaking of war, we're kind of well, not us, but some of that going on anyway. Whether we're in the middle of it or not, we're already starting to see the effects of it. I don't know what gas prices are like in your area, but they are not fun here. Well, and see, I saw the plantation, like that place looks really neat. And then there's the I forget the name of the house. Like they always um oh goodness, there's History Underground, I think is that channel. And yeah, we're around 350 in there too. I saw where California's around $7 now, which is insane. The Carter House. That's the one because you've got the little shed out back where when you open the door you see all the holes go, you can see the holes and the story of his son being he the at the Carter family, his son goes to fight for the Confederacy. He's captured, he escapes, he rejoins the regiment and they're fighting on his at his house and then he dies there. Like that's just some other like the universe is cruel, and to me, in like certain ways like that. Like the guy escapes and then finds his way back to a regiment and then fights and dies at his own house. Like that's just next level. And I think they still have the bullet too, from what I was watching. Like that stuff just that fascinates me too. Like I really want to go do both of those places, but I do want to let it warm up, like kind of like it is today. But some of that is definitely a niche audience. Like I'm glad you dig it because it's a that's the one in the glass case. Yeah. See that is a really neat, and you can go down in the cellar, right, where the family was, and, they have it all set up from what I remember watching, and just the whole and a lot of that too, the American Battlefield Trust reclaimed a lot of that too. Like, there used to be, like, a Pizza Hut or something next to that area that they were able to tear down and use make a show what the battlefield looks like and stuff, I think. From what I was watching in the video, how the American Battlefield Trust does good work, like, I hope they do anyway, it seems like they do. Like, they take all the money that's donated and buy, you know, that stuff. See, I'd love to go to Gettysburg. Vicksburg, I checked that off the list, which I can't imagine what Gettysburg looks like. Because really, at Vicksburg, when you drive through, you've got the big area, that they were able to keep where the battle happened there. And then you have to meander through kind of just, the woods to get over to like where another part of the line was. But Gettysburg is the whole, th- you know, just that expanse of fields. Yeah, and at that house too, at the Carter house, when I was watching the video from I think it's History Underground. I think that's his channel. You can't go upstairs, but he was able to go up there, and that would be one of those, that'd be kind of cool if I can know somebody to get in up there and do that. But Gettysburg, I couldn't imagine. Like that's a bucket list. I don't know if I'll make it this year, but it's like by God, as soon as I can do it, like I am going to that. I got to take my old man too. My dad, he would love to see it. He's the one I took to Vicksburg. Like he had talked about it for years. Like he wanted to go see it, wanted to go see it. And it was like as soon as I could scratch up enough coin, it was like, all right, Pops, we are doing this. Let's go. And let's check this off your bucket list and mine too. Because I don't know, something about Civil War. I've always been intrigued. A lot of people are more, I guess, World War II. Maybe that's because it was so, photographed and videoed and stuff. They showed some bedroom up there, and I don't know, like, it's just one of those, like, in the video, he was like, "Most people don't get to see it," and it was like, "Okay, so I gotta go there," like, since most people don't get to see it, then that enticed me to be like, "Oh, okay, I wanna get up there too then." They didn't show any other part of the house, they just showed the one bedroom. It was like you go up the stairs and to the right, maybe, if that makes any sense to you? I'm glad you got to join. Hello, Mr. and Miss Casey Ale. Yeah, Gettysburg. Like I wouldn't even like that's something I would have to plan because it seems so expansive and there's so many different um just pieces, like just the whole Confederate side seems like it would take days and the Union side just and then you've got the whole, just like the hornet's nest and all of those, areas. It just seems like a lot. Like it would take multiple days to do it. And I hope to be one of those people, that catches the ghost. Like, you've seen that video that seems like it's 20 years old now where they got the ghost marching right through the woods and all that stuff. No, we got to keep this conversation going because I'm like Jeremy, I'm as dull as I'm duller than a butter knife. Like I'm pretty bad. I have a trouble. Like for me, this is open. That's why it took over 20,000 subs to get me to do it because I am a very like this kind of I keep it in close, right? Like I don't know why I've always been that way. I'm not very outgoing and not like a don't like you kind of way, just more of a quiet, just kind of get the job done and we'll go on about our business. Yeah, Gettysburg seems really cool though. And like Bull Run and like I'm gonna go over to Shiloh this year. I'll probably do that in a couple months, which it's really a bloody battle. that I don't think really gets what it deserves. Like to me, to go to Vicksburg and do um the ironclad that's there. Like I would like to go up to Cairo or Cairo, however they say it up there. I know we'd probably say Cairo here in Alabama, and show the factory or like where it could have been made and stuff. But they said that town's not the best in the best shape anymore. So you probably couldn't even really find a dock or close to the area. And yeah, but I'd like to do Shiloh and Corinth. Really, they don't really get the love they need. Antietam, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Antietam, which that's either Antietam or Bull Run, right? Like it depends on which side you're on. Didn't they call it? Wasn't it like that? Because there's a lot of battles that have multiple names, just because depending on which side you call. Like First Manassas, maybe that's what it was. Yeah, that I saw. There's those videos. It's like the top 5 worst towns to live in. Like you get the little thumbnail, top 5 worst towns to live in. Maybe I do in like Illinois, and it's like that. What it was like the number 5 was Cairo or something. Because now, like on my like when I watch it on like I watch all of mine mostly on TV. I don't know how you guys like ingest YouTube, but I have mine on a Roku, and like there's this autoplay feature now that's kind of cool. Like I don't know, it's one of those that does it now. Like why hadn't they always done that? That seems like one of those features they should have always had. I really like that. So I can kind of watch a little bit of the video to see if I even want to click on it now. And I don't know if that like does anything on like the content side because I can see as people actively watch, but I don't know if it counts or not. Which I mean, I don't guess that even matters on your phone. See, I just have this. I'd have, like I'm like this, right? I'd have to do that. That's why I don't watch it on TV. Most of the time, I'm watching some kid YouTube channel though, depending on what they want to watch. Something with Minecraft or uh, toys and colors. That's a channel. Minecraft, all the Minecraft channels. I don't even know their names. I just know they exist. So I guess that's really why I don't watch all those other channels that kind of do what I do because I don't really get the chance to. Or I'm too busy. I'm a gamer as well, so I don't really watch TV as much. Like it's either YouTube or I'm gaming, one of the two. And you said you were talking too much, Jeremy. I just went on this random ramble. I've just about drank all this sweet tea. See, I haven't had. See, I was a Sony guy too, right? And the PS4 is still working. My oldest son, he likes his Minecraft, and so that's what he got. We got him as a like Minecraft on the PlayStation, and now he's moved on to the Switch, and so the PlayStation just sits there now. I'm a PC guy. That's what I do. So what was it like to like Heather? I don't know. I hope you're still there. What was it like to work at those places? Did you have any kind of like weird, and maybe you have that on your channel. I don't know it, but did you have any kind of weird just interactions with like things happening or like what was that like working there? Because that's very interesting to me. It would be working in a historical place like that. I've never had a job like that before. Like that seems very, very intriguing. I've got to get us a better setup so when we do this, we can I can kind of do multiple things at once without having to like old man steel. Who would that be, Jeff? What is that related to? Because I'm interested just with that name. Because that sounds interesting. Snowy Colorado. Yeah, see, it's 85 degrees here. Like we are the opposite of all of that. We are we don't. You can keep the snow too, by the way. I don't want any of that. Oh, I got you. See, I would be. See, I wouldn't. You know how you just said you sold the tickets. See, I would say, oh, I worked and like I talked to, like I had like 7 or 8 ghost experiences and I was high fiving them and stuff. Like you could spice it up a little bit instead of saying, oh, I sold the tickets. You could, doll it up a little bit, right? I'm kidding. Yeah, I don't want the oh, that's where he's at. Okay, cool. See, I've been wanting to plan a trip up to Southern Illinois and or in that area. And like that's cool that like that, he's buried there. Popeye. That is really neat. I have to write that on my stuff. Yeah, I see him. So he's the inspiration, huh? That's who that guy is. See, that's really neat about them selling the bullets. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I think I'd have to buy a couple, but that's really neat. I would imagine there's a bunch there because that was a big no-no when I was in Vicksburg, and I imagine Gettysburg is probably the same too. Where or any state site, you can't. That's a no-go. You find anything, you gotta just leave it as is. So how's everything been going, Grave Tales? How you been doing? I saw the channel's growing, which is good. Trying to get you up there, right? We're trying to pump those numbers up. I had I added another one to the list today. Um, yeah. So see, I feel like if I had a metal detector, I would do something wrong. Something about the you hear the beeps and the whoops and the whatever sounds, the whoop 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 stuff. Like I just don't know if I would. See, I've never. I don't want to film in the snow. Like you, that's your territory. You handle that. Like I'm good. You just do all the snow walking. Like the boop 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 boop. I don't think I could. I would just be digging for nothing. That would be my luck. It looks like it's really neat, as far as finding stuff. But well, I'm glad that you found the live stream. Um, I hope that our the channel doesn't disappoint. We seem like we're an okay community if you want to hang out. So they have all of those people buried around Metropolis. Yeah, because that's it's based. Yeah, that makes sense. That would be a. I got to start doing some research on the Illinois area. Like I don't really want to go as far north as like Chicago, but middle to southern Illinois, somewhere in there. That seems like a decent little place to go, trajectory wise. I could do an overnighter there. I want to get over towards Virginia, somewhere outside of North Carolina, Virginia, maybe up in Kentucky, Western Kentucky, but we got a long way to go before we get to any of that. I got to go into South Mississippi next week, so hopefully I can get one or two while I'm down there. There's one that I've seen that I want to go do down in South Mississippi that I don't think I've seen anybody do. And if they've done it, then I didn't find it because I looked for it. So, well, I'm glad you like it. You just been, Just sitting in the back of the room checking the audience out to see if it's, what you're about. I like that style. 60 and raining. Yeah, they said, I guess, are y'all still under the tornado watch up there? It's like old man stuff here, but as you get older, it seems like you talk about the weather more and more and more. I don't know why, but that's what, because we're supposed to have bad weather tomorrow. That's why I was asking, because I don't want no part of that. But it's going to come whether I want it to or not. Rolling pennies, man, that's what I'm talking about. We just had the penny drop, or they don't really. It's a money drop now. Growing up, it was a penny drop in school. Now it's a money drop. They don't. You don't want you just to bring pennies. You got to bring all the money now. Like it's pennies are Monday. The rest of the week is increasing of value, right? Like nickels, dimes, quarters. Then they want whole dollars. So that whole Popeye stuff is all up there. That's really neat. That the whole area, or that that little thing you were talking about, it looks like really that would make a cool like whole story instead of just going to one of them at a time. That would be a really neat thing to tie all them in together. Yeah, that would be cool. I want to put that on the board. Yeah, I wouldn't give away the pennies either. I was thinking, when you go to these graves, people leave the coins as a remembrance. Like I've thought about getting a coin that, like if I leave it there, then you guys, in the future, if you go to any of these, you can be like, oh yeah, that's the same, just one of those little things. Thought about doing that. You should find the grave. She died in a skydiving incident. Wow. That is yeah, I thought the coins would be neat. Well, thank you. I try. I'm not that great. Don't pump up. Don't do it. My ego needs to stay down here. Like don't because it's keep that's a very yeah. That's what I was thinking. A coin that has the little logo on it that I would leave, or maybe I could find a. I think I've got shirts and stuff coming too. I'm working on that. Like I'm gonna have a little place, so we could all, we're a community, right? So like we could have little coins. I haven't really looked into that. So it's one of those like I've had the thought, but I ain't really. Yeah, it was windy here today too. But the skydiving thing, I don't want to lose that. I want to keep that in there. Yeah, skydiving. That would because that's a very long process to figure out that it ain't going to work. And then there's acceptance, right? Like so you're falling and it's like shoot one didn't open. Okay, well, that's what you got the backup for. And then you go through finagling, trying to figure out how to pull or however you do that. And then you pull the second one, and then it doesn't work. Oh, it choked her to death? Oh, see that? Mm. Which would you rather take? Would you rather have tangled in your cords and so you're just lifeless falling down, or do you want to go splat? Which one do you want to know it's coming the whole way? Like, okay, neither one of them worked. This is it, game over, splat. Or do you want to pull the chute and you're like, whew, oh no. Like which, that neither one of them seemed like a good option, but I guess if you had to pick the two, that seems like the one to I don't know. Yeah, see it's supposed to rain. Ah gosh, I think it's in the morning for me. Yeah, we still got it looks like it's just starting around Memphis or so. So we still got a little while. Gosh, I wouldn't either one of those options if you got to go. Like if death comes to you and he's like, all right, so in this skydiving thing, you got to go one or the two ways. Which would you want it? And that'd be a weird one to have to pick between. I mean, you wouldn't want either one, but if death is there with the sickle, it's it's one or the other. Do y'all watch the weather guy on YouTube? Do you know who I'm talking about? The Ryan Hall. Do y'all watch him at all? That was not supposed to rhyme, but I did that. He seems like a really nice guy. He's like the YouTube weatherman. Well, if you hit the ground, obviously you're going to die one way or another. So the choking, like I still can't get off of this. So if you're choking, that's excruciating for more amount of time than hitting the ground. Like hitting the ground is just lights out, right? You hope. Like I don't know. I still don't know which one. I'm gonna have to think on that one. But the choking, you're fighting and you're struggling, or at least I think so. Anyway, that's my what I would think. Anyway, it seems like it would be a fight no matter what you did. I bet the thunder snow was weird. Like I couldn't. I've never heard thunder snow as far as I know. We may have had it once here, and it's just been so scarce that nobody, I can't remember it because we don't really get a lot of snow anyway. Like if we get snow once a year, it's a big deal. Like we shut down for like a half an inch. So he's buried with a spin. See that hole? I gotta. Okay, I'm gonna go write that down. Oh, I'm gonna make a note. Hold on. I'm gonna make a note because I probably forget to write it down. Let's see. Pop, uh, Illinois. Whole thing there. That way I know it's the whole thing. So Shannon, so she didn't put. So who was? Oh, is she the? Yeah, I'd definitely like to get out that way. I mean, it might be more towards the end of summer, but most definitely. Um, so the Shannon Watts, is she the one that was in the from the dude? You know, is that the same one? Like, yeah. So I didn't know she was buried there. Huh. Okay, hold on. I gotta. Okay, hold on. I'm putting that one down too. That's a good one. So it's in North Carolina. Yeah. See, that's what's up. That's a good one. That's a good one. It makes sense they use her maiden name though. Makes sense. But then it goes to the point, well, do I do a disservice to the family? See, like that dude was so dirty, man. Like he's in the Supermax too. But does that do and so are the kids with her? Are they I guess is that like a whole little family? Because I don't know if I've seen anybody do that as far as have people done that? What's up, Rose? Hello from Alabama. Good luck in Iowa. It looks like y'all are like cold and rainy. Yeah, that's the thing. I didn't know, like I don't want to just be like, you know, I don't want to be the guy. I don't want to put it on blast. Like if it blows up, like everybody knows where it's at. Like I don't want to be that guy. See, that just I'll do it, but gosh, like I could do it in a tasteful way, but for the family's sake, if it happens. See, I figured Lamont would have done. That's something Lamont would do, but I don't know if I've seen it for on his channel. Like it's he still gets recommended to me, even though I don't really watch him anymore, just because I don't want to overlap. Okay, yeah, that's still a yeah. When I go into that area, I'm gonna have to put that under the okay. So if people know about it, then I don't feel bad about doing it, especially on the murder stuff. Like I don't want to bring up bad memories for families, and because I saw where Lamont had said that families had contacted him and threatened him and stuff, and I don't want to. I ain't got time for that. It's easier to do famous people and like random, burials and stuff like that. I don't want to be the guy that talks about somebody that's been stabbed to death, or in their case, the crap that he did to them. So, do you think? Okay, another random tangent. Do you think all that stuff, them hearing the little girl's voice and stuff in the audio, do you think that's real, or do you think that was like tampered with, like evidence? That's my real. That's my thought. I didn't know if anybody had saw that stuff. It seemed like on the police, like on the little somethings or whatever, the recorders that are on their, their thing. You could hear like little girls laughing and playing and stuff. I didn't know if that was like the family that was there as kids, or if it was like the little dead girls or whatever. That stuff always kind of. I always try to find the most logical way out of that. Like I think the ghost and Bigfoot is cool, right? Like I want Bigfoot to be as real as anybody, but I don't know. Like I always try to find the logical thing. Speaking of that, there's a Bigfoot museum in Georgia or North Georgia that I think I want to go to in the next month. I got to do that. That's my tangent. Sorry about that. It looks like it'd be a really cool place, but I got to find out if they allow filming. Because if not, then what good's it going to do me to go somewhere that I can't show y'all? See, I saw the thing with the friend's kids, so that's why I didn't know if that was legit or not. Like there was the one thing where it showed the like it looked like the kid was upstairs, but then they said that was the friend's kids. But I'd like it to be real. That'd be kind of cool. I mean, it sucks for them to have to die. Like what he did was terrible. Like I couldn't imagine doing that. Like as a father of two, like I can't imagine. I don't know. Like that's just weird and terrible. And yeah, I don't know. Which movie? Which Popeye? We talking like Robin Williams Popeye? Because that's the one that I know. Because I think that would be um, that's the one that I think of when you say Popeye. Like I don't know. Like as far as the movie, the spinach, he'd like squeeze the can. I'm glad you brought up Popeye to keep me from talking about little dead kids. Because I just did the bombing thing, and man, that was a downer. Like any kind of those videos, I think that's why I don't really like doing those because it's such a downer. Like I just don't. It takes a lot out of you. But yeah, Popeye, smash the can, and yeah, I really enjoy that. Popeye was great. Spinach is terrible. I would say that was a mass murder, definitely. Yeah, see, that's the weird thing. Like this, it's not like it's complicated to have a divorce, right? But killing 16 people though. So like, there's a guy in Arkansas that killed his whole family. Like, so it would be mom, dad, and then 14 kids. Is that how that worked out? Or was there like uncles and cousins and like, that involved? Yeah, see, 16 people is a lot. You would think by the time he got through like 12, somebody would be like, hey, asking questions like, where did so and so go? It just, my weird brain. Unless they were all kids and then if they were asleep. I guess yeah, killing everybody was. And that's the weird thing. Like, if I just kill everybody, it would be easier. Like, who? What? Kids and grandkids. Oh, okay, so he was an older guy. That makes sense. That just shows you the mental capacity of that guy, where he thought killing was easier than just leaving. But he's in Supermax. Where he's at is not. He's at like the Guantanamo Bay up there in Colorado, whatever that place is called. So isn't that crazy what he did? Like that's one of those things that's gonna go down for a long time. Like what he did. Like that one. Like to me, he's up there with like the Dahmer and like in that nomenclature of crazy. I guess the Gacy. I thought that too about as far as leaving all that stuff. That was strange. Oh, he got moved. Okay. I knew they said he was in that Supermax there, which is like the worst of the worst. of whatever, whatever that place is called. That's where the terrorist, right? Or the multiple murder people. Well, he probably deserves to get beat up just a little bit. What was that? What is that Supermax called? Yeah, the ADX. That's what it's called. Yeah, that place. It's just all concrete. That everything's made out of concrete. You have like one little mat that you sleep on. It's like the worst of the worst. I'm glad y'all enjoyed Conway. I'm gonna try to segue into something else. I'm tired of talking about dead kids. Um, I don't know if you guys are or not. Don't bring me down. I hope y'all enjoyed Conway. It seems like it's doing really well. I'm glad everybody liked it. Um, yeah, so Donna Summer, she'll be out Thursday. Took me a little while to edit that. Try to. I don't know if next Sunday we're gonna do one. I'm gonna try to, but I don't know yet. We'll have to figure that out and see what happens. John Denver would be good. Well, he's cremated, so he could go on those top 5 lists that I do, like graves that you can't visit. Which I hadn't put one of those out this month. I need to do that, but I'm going to add him to the list. I'm going to do that right now. Dodge Correctional, huh? Well, good. I hope he gets beat up there too while he's there. He deserves whatever he gets. He deserves whatever he gets. Trying to look. Let's see. So Dr. Shaw, let's look at that. I've quit talking, but I'm typing. So what did he do? I'm looking to see what's up with that. Oh, Cliff would be cool. You're right about that. Where is he at? I feel like he'd be in California, right? Oh, cremated. Yep. Yep. Yeah, Cliff Burton. Let's see. Cliff Burton. Even though that's a deep cut, a lot of people may not actually know who that is. Which is it's like for a metal for who he played with, people should know. But a lot of people probably don't. Cliff would be cool though. They said he really made the band. All the stuff, you hear all the things about him. Like he's the guy that was the meat and potatoes of the band. Like, because then they got Jason, to come in and play bass, and they said the band just was different ever since. Ever since. Yeah, Metallica. You're right. Probably should have said that. You know, the one thing I got to figure out on here is how to make y'all's comments pop up. Maybe somebody can help me do that. Like I've seen that, and maybe that's something I need to do through OBS instead of just using YouTube's thing. Because YouTube gives you this, but it's okay. Okay, that's what it is. Yep, yep. You know, I thought about going to see Martin Luther King's grave in Atlanta, but it's downtown, and it's this huge it's a museum, right, where his grave's at. That's why I did his dad because number one, it's easier, and number two, I know it's one of those that, like we were saying, those graves that get used a lot. I feel like a lot of people may go to that and showcase that, but nobody probably does his dad. And then I'm probably going to go back and do his brother because his brother's there also. So where is he? I feel like he was. I bet he's in Illinois. Going up. Nope. L.A. Yep. Darren's in L.A. So yeah, I want to get out to L.A. I forget who was on here last week that was saying they run a cemetery or a funeral home, and they were saying that I should come out and they could show me around. But I'd like to get out to LA. I definitely like to get out to Colorado. There's tons of places I need to go, but I don't know. Time is it's weird. I don't have enough time to do anything. Like I want to go for like like if I went to those places, it would be fun to do the big names, that everybody else does. Well, good luck. I'm sure, we'll be here for a little bit longer. Sam Kinison, I definitely will have to go see Sam. Bill Hicks is in South Mississippi. If you know what I'm saying. That's, one of those people. Um, yeah, I would like to get out there in the summer, definitely. And I would like to go do some big time stuff, but also like with collaborating, I think it would be fun to go do a big name on your channel. And then we say, like on mine, I'm like, hey, if you want to see so and so, you go watch it there or whatever. I think that would be kind of cool. Yeah, Bill Hicks was awesome. I was watching some of his stuff today, and I think he was very ahead of his time. Sam Kinison, Bill Hicks. Yeah, because I'm all about helping. Like I want us all to, like in the last Conway video, we all got to like we can all get there. We can do this. Richard Pryor would definitely be a huge one. I mean, he is him and gosh, um, Lenny Bruce. Like Lenny Bruce was like the original guy to do what we know today as stand up. And Pryor, he's in where is Pryor at? He is our luck he's cremated, but he's actually he's cremated. His ashes were given to his family. His ashes were scattered in Hawaii. So no visiting Richard Pryor. He's going on the list. I did the hold on, let me see who this is before. I'm not gonna say I don't know the name, but I want to see the face first. Oh yeah, I definitely know who that guy is. I didn't know that name, but yeah, I know who that is. Um uh Somebody was giving me grief about being able to see Belushi's grave, but it's not even worth in the comments like arguing with people. So it's like you just let them talk. Um, yeah, that whole the tape. That's one of those guys that he was probably big in what, the late '80s, early '90s? That's what that kinda looks like. He looks like that guy from that era. But yeah, they were saying, like, you could see Belushi's grave, and it's like, but no, that's his original, and they've moved him to a different one, blah, blah, blah. So what did he liver disease. So I got him. He's in Myrtle Beach. He's in a very not trashy place, right? Let's see, ghost towns with cemeteries. Yeah, I'm down for that. It may not be, I don't know. I'll get there. My luck, it'll be this winter, and I'll get out there in the middle of freaking snow doing your territory in snow. And it's like I said, that's not my thing, right? Here I am, like big old southern guy pounding around in snow. Um, yeah. So there's that. Where Yeah, that's what it was saying when he was in Myrtle Beach. But Sam, I'd really like to go. I'd really like to go see that grave. His story's insane too. Being a preacher and the car wreck and just his whole process of his whole life anyway, from growing up. You got family in Myrtle Beach. See, I never really hear anything good about the place, but I don't really hear anything bad either. You just always hear the whole, it's like white trash mecca. So, which trust me, as a guy from Alabama, I know a lot about white trash. I mean, you can see my stickers. Like, see, I'm good white trash right there. I got some stickers, and let's see what else we got. We've got Paw Patrol. They're on the double. All kinds of Legos and everything. We were just talking about the Bell stuff earlier. Like, I would like to, try to visit one of those. It's funny you bring that up. I think that's more of like a Northeast thing. Like during that time, that was one of those things. Oh, like the Massachusetts and New York and that area. I think by the time settling got this way, there might be something in Atlanta. Maybe that might be the closest to me would be Atlanta, but I don't know. I don't think there's anything here. Like there could be, but it's not really well known. Yeah, like Massachusetts or maybe New York, Pennsylvania, somewhere in there. Because wasn't that from the bread? Didn't they eat bread? Or no, that was the witch trials. Like something made those people go into like that, like a coma, like state, and they thought they were dead. Just shows you how far medicine's come. What, just a couple hundred years ago, that they didn't know if they was really dead or alive, so they had to put a bell on the grave. We've come a long way, right? God, talk about terrifying. You wake up and like, oh, you just can't get out. That would not be cool. Nobody can hear you because you're 6 feet. That would be horrifying. And then I guess lack of oxygen, and you just kind of drift off into nothing, right? The boardwalk area at Myrtle Beach looks really cool. I think I was watching Adam last week or week before last when he was out there, and he did the. Ooh, that was close. Gosh, I almost messed that up. He did the abandoned theme park there, the Hollywood, whatever it was called, the Rock and Roll. God Almighty! See, I had this thing just right, and I bumped it, and that had to mess it up. How about that? How about that? How about that? Don't touch it. Boot Hill looks like a really cool place too. So sliced bread came from Missouri. See, that's one of those cool things. I had this idea too, like uh doing some restaurants in that area too. Cause like I don't want to pigeonhole myself. Like I want to do some other things other than graves, doing like state line restaurants that are on the back of, not necessarily like interstates, but a couple of state roads over and that kind of thing too. So that would be kind of I'd say that because that would be an interesting story to go to that town where sliced bread comes from. It looks like, what was that? Chili, chili, oh, chili. I'm not even, nope. I'm going to murder that. Boot Hill, too. That, I've always wondered how they dug the grave because they put rocks on them. So it's like, did they take a pickaxe out there and just pickaxe all of that? Or is there like dirt underneath? Or like, how do you get deep enough down to put a body? Yeah, the Clown Motel looks. But see, that goes back to, what we were saying earlier about how some of these things seem played out. Like the Clown Motel, the Boot Hill stuff, it's really cool. But as far as like it's neat as a bucket list thing for us to go do as a person, but as far as like as a channel, if you want to if you want somebody to be like, oh, that's cool, let me click on that, then those don't seem like the thing to do that. Even though somebody last week was like, you just go do what you want. It's like, yeah, but we're trying to do a thing here, and that just seems see, the to me, the state line restaurant thing, or like, random restaurants, I find those now, like literally traveling the back roads or whatever. But like there's all kinds of cool places that I find to eat at. And I think it'd be neat to film some of those because they got the mom and pops. That's where it's at. And as a fat guy, I know my way around food a little bit. It's one of those things. I'm pretty interested in food, if you can't tell. Yeah. Plus, as I travel, I'm gonna try. That's something I'm gonna work on. I've got a bunch of ideas, and I don't really know what's gonna flesh out and what. It's kind of like the coin thing. I wanna. I've got a bunch of things I want to do, but I don't really know what's gonna make it to print yet. I'm just gonna have to kind of see what they. Because I think I'm gonna, as far as since I play golf and like we have a podcast, and it's like I want to do all those things, but I really don't know what's gonna flesh out yet. Like, I think I'm gonna start a whole nother channel for some stuff and like all that. Like, I got a lot of, and we're gonna do merchandise, and it's just all coming. Hey, she's on here. John Bonet's already on there. Yeah, Marietta's got some really good food. We used to have family there. Actually, I'll be going back soon to actually pay respects to that family. Speaking of that, yeah. I want to. There's one guy because I went up to Marietta and did Rick Rude, Ravishing Rick Rude, the wrestler, and I wanted the big boss man is buried over there. I still got to get to him. I'm trying to remember. See, I had John Bonet. I've done her grave, and that's a cool little cemetery. It's very small. She's over in the corner. Like it's really nice. And let's see, I did. It was the same time frame where like it was around Kenny, so it's been a while ago when I did that. But yeah, it was nice where she's at. And that's a whole other murder, right? That like we were talking about, how could you do, right? That's a whole other thing. Like what happened to her? Like she was strangled, right? Yeah, I think so. It was it was a downer of a video. It's one of those I don't really like doing the kids. Any kind of kid, nothing. I do it, but I don't really like it. I've been trying to find another like rocking chair or um, random type of grade to go do because it's kind of easy. Like to me, like the celebrity thing, it's like, yeah, it's cool, like those are fun. But I don't know, those random one-offs, like the buried in the rocking chair and stuff. Yeah, those are fun to do because it's those cemeteries are like the one like that first one. That cemetery had been there since the early 1800s, and like those have more history, and I really enjoy those. And that's the one that had the tombstone of the lady that was burned to death, and they had painted it red. And yeah, you get those random ones at those kind of places. But normally at the celebrity ones, it's kind of cut and dry. Like we're here to do this, and this is what we're here to do. Because normally they're a newer cemetery, so there's really not much to look at. I mean, there's some like if it's maybe there's an older corner section. Normally, that's where I try to go to. Um, but it seems like those are the ones that I actually have fun with those. The other ones aren't. It's not that they're not fun, but it's like that exploring itch, right? Like you get that little bit of that explorer, like oh, I don't know what we're fixing to find next, kind of bug, and that's kind of cool. Where when you go to the a well known one, you know what's up. Okay, so there's a couple of the see-through ones, right? The horse head one's really cool. There's one in Mississippi that I want to go to where they have like a little window that you can slide on it. I just found that one, and the mom, it's kind of like the one down in Natchez where they used to, the you could go down the steps. Like that's one that's been done to death, where you go down the steps and they had she had a window to view the casket or whatever. And I know there's that one, and there's a couple. Like now, obviously, there's the one in Mississippi that I saw. When you open the little view window, there's nothing there. They've moved the body, but the actual thing is still there. So that's kind of. I think I might go to do. Oh gosh, I may go to do that. I don't know soon. I think I've said I'm going to go do 87 things, so I don't really know which out of those 87 I'm going to do. It's like I have all these ideas, right? I want to go do this. I want to go do all these things, but time is trouble. You don't really have a lot of it. As I get older, I keep finding that out. It just seems like time goes shorter and shorter and shorter. But the ones with the windows, those seem like a really neat thing. I wanted the one with the horse statue is cool. I was excited to get to do the one in Vicksburg with the camel. That was kind of neat. Um, uh, but the see-through things, look, those are really that's a niche thing. That's a really grieving mother normally that does that, and like you can tell they struggled with that. Like especially because like they would go down there and sit with them during storms, and I bet that was tough. Yeah, that's the thing, like, with a bucket list, like, once you start, you just keep adding to it, like, just the things you start with are never enough. Like, you always just keep adding more and more and more and more, and it's not even just the graves, but, like, me with the Civil War stuff, and then it's like, "Okay, well, now that I've got some graves and Civil War stuff" Hey, Vicky. Now that I got some graves and Civil War stuff, then it's like, um, okay, well, then what else could I add to it? It's like, okay, well, museums. And then so we're adding museums. And then on top of that, it's like, well, then what else could you add? And then you just keep piling all this stuff up in your bucket list that started like this, grows and grows. It goes like exponentially way out of control. And that's why I had to buy some boards because I'm starting to like forget things that I said I want to do. And I have paper and stuff that I've wrote things on, but I need to like visually, I gotta like visual see what I need because just a little notebook is not, I can't, I don't do well with that. I need to look at it. I don't even know if that's the right one. Nope, it's not even the right one. That's just a rando. So yeah, bucket list. It's one of those things I wish I hadn't started. Of course, then the channel may not have started, and yeah, because this thing just started on a whim anyway. Like we'd been doing, like we had a sports thing we'd done for years, and we went and did the grave of Bear Bryant, Davy Allison, and then George Lindsay because they're all within. See, I would like to get try to do all contiguous too. See, I work in IT, right? So you would think that I would be like all listy but I don't do that. Like I don't do well with like keeping notes that way. Like I guess I'm more from the old school where I need to just jot it and just write and write and write and write and write and write. I don't know. Maybe I'm from that. I'm different. I guess we all do it different. But that's the cool thing with this is there's like no way to do it. That's another thing I found out with like doing this is like I'll watch some YouTubers. What really inspired me to do it was I watched some people. Audrey Hepburn would be cool, but yeah, you're right. She is. Well, and like I just did a thing with Casey Kasem, and he's buried over there too. Like, got to cross the pond to get to those. But God, I done lost track where I was. Yeah, I would watch these videos of people doing this, and I would just sit there and go, I could do that better, or I could at least do that equally as crappy as he's doing it. And then so that's what motivated, and I hope that's what somebody says about me. Like I hope I motivate somebody to do the same thing. Just go, well, I could do that if he's doing it like that. Then I know I could do that, and that's what I want. Like I want because I know if I would watch them and think, well, he didn't even wipe his lens off. He's fuzzy, like he's blurry. You can tell he got out of the car and he went from a cool car to a hot air, and like his camera's blurry, and he didn't even care to wipe the camera off. Like, come on, dude, be a little more professional than that. Like, I don't want to name names or nothing, but like that really bothers me. Or I'll watch another one, and they just like haphazardly like cut like the way they edit, it's just like this weird random cut. And I don't know. Like some of that is just it's weird. Like how and these are people that they make a good living off this. And I don't know. Just something about it bothers me. Like you make a living and that's the product you put out. Like I think you're doing a disservice to the people that watch. Like pick your game up a little bit, you know? Well, I'm glad you like it, and it's like, if I can be the inspiration, then it's like once you get to this point, then it's like I hope you turn around and you're the inspiration to somebody, and it's like we just keep passing it along the way. That if I can pick up a few people, then like those people that were picked up, they pick up a few people, and then those people, like then it's like we're all making it. See, I want to go, yeah, that Mount Carmel. Hold on, let me look this up. I like all these suggestions. Charles. So what did he do? What did he do? Yeah, you got to tell me what he did. I don't see. I don't see. Okay, so here's your thing with editing videos, right? No matter which way you shoot it, you can shoot it on your phone. I've seen it done, you know, 20 different ways. Like with me, it'll be phone, it's GoPro, just whatever I've got, right? I have a preference, but it doesn't really matter. And obviously, yeah, you do get a lot better at it. That's for sure. Like if you go back and look at some of your earlier stuff, and I can only imagine even now, years from now, looking back at this moment, thinking, what a stooge. But yeah, that's what I was thinking about the burger thing, right? Uh, the editing, it's really not that intimidating. I promise. If you film it on your phone, you can edit it on the phone, and you do your little sliders, and then that's how you figure out your style, right? Like you're going to edit it in the way that you like, which makes it yours. And then once you get through, you upload it, and that's it. Forget about it. Just put it out, and you're done with it. It's really not that bad, I promise. Like, there's a lot of people that are like, "Oh, I don't know how to edit," and I promise that it's not like, yeah, you can get complicated and get on the laptop and do all your shortcuts and add all the audio and make all your little whatevers, and you can even, do your color corrections, and you ain't got to do that. Most people watching 1080p, like I upload in 4K, but a lot of people don't even watch it in 4K. Like I could do 1080p even this day and time where 4K is the normal, and you don't have to be all fancy. You don't even have to get a camera. Just use your phone and get out there and just film and put it up there. And the more you do it, the more you're going to learn that it's not as intimidating as you thought. And then that gives you more confidence to do even more. And then, it just builds from there. Yeah, and especially with software because I use DaVinci like on my Mac. It's free. You don't even have to buy Final Cut or Adobe's crap. DaVinci's free. You just upload it. You can drop it in. There's tons of YouTube videos that can walk you through the whole process, and it's really simple. Like it is not bad. Like anybody can do this. I don't do it by memory. It may seem like it, but I don't. That's a little bit of the secret sauce. Yeah, upload all the things. Like I didn't okay, so I started in May, right, of last year. I uploaded all kinds of videos from May, and then in August, the video that I uploaded in May decided that it was going to get viewers for some random reason. And that's how the channel really started growing was in August. But from and May to August, there wasn't. I mean, we were getting 10 to 12 views a week. I mean, it was bad. Like I'd considered the channel dead, and then out of nowhere, boom. See, I haven't tried that one. That's a neat one. How do I find the stories that I do? Okay, so like early on, it's okay. So I'll use let's see. Um, You want me to explain how the secret sauce? There's only like 13 of us, right? So don't tell nobody. Okay. So there's notes out, right? Let's say, I guarantee you it's still on here. Donna Summer, that's coming out Thursday, right? There it is. So I've got you guys turned the other way, and you're looking out towards the graveyard, and you're going, "Oh, that's some nice, pretty graves." And I'm looking at it like this and talking, and that's how it works. Now, I don't read it word for word. I've read it multiple times, so I know it, but it's there just in case. Find a Grave is great. Atlas Obscura is another one that I use. There's Roadside America. Those are really the only three, other than just Googling and getting into the nitty, like just getting in the internet. You do that with a piece of paper. See, I started with a piece of paper. Like, okay, so like this thing, right? So I would write it down on this. Like this is that's the museums that I was okay. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I would write it on here. And yeah, see, like you can add your stuff in the comments on larger videos, and that does help. Yeah, Google a lot. Google, it's amazing what it can do. It's a good and a you know Google knows I'm really into graves and dead people, but yeah, it could be worse, right? Uh, but Atlas Obscura, that's another one I've just started using. Let me see if I can find it on here. Yeah, it has a map of the world pretty much, and with inside that map, as you like zoom into your state, it has all these little bubbles. And oh, so he was in the mafia. Oh, cool. All right. Oh, let me add that name. So yeah, now you guys kind of know how I do this. All right. Yeah. But Atlas Obscura, there's a couple in Atlanta that I got to get to as far as random graves. There's some in a Walmart parking lot. There is some at the airport. There's a couple of airport graves. And there's one where the graves themselves are cemented on the runway. I don't know if they'll let me on the runway, but that's the one I really want to get to. Because if you just walk out on the runway, there's two spots where graves are right on the runway. So I'm going to try to get to those. I feel like they probably won't care, especially if planes are coming in. Well, the secret of the sauce is like that's about it. Like because she was saying she doesn't know how I remember it, but really you just kind of I study, I read the thing over and over and over and over, And while I am out there, let me see if I can find it. And while I am out there, I have the phone. I'm looking at it while you guys are turned facing the other way. And that way, if I do forget something, it's there. So I don't really just know it. I mean, I know it, but not, I got a backup in case, it hits the fan. I kind of know what's up. That way I don't just go, well, like just turn into a pure redneck, like instead of just a little. The Yeah, I don't really. I wish I had a secret sauce, like a good barbecue sauce, but I don't. Sorry about that. See, I do that, but as far as the way I do the research, I'll do my write up or my summary, like you said. But the pictures, mm-mm. I wait till the last minute. 'Cause some of the frustrating stuff, like you would think I would have learned after all this time, is I'll go out there and I'll film, and I'll come back and I'm putting it together, and I'll say they played baseball for whatever, right? And I'll go to look that up and you can't find anything on it. It's like, oh God, I wish I would have known that because I wouldn't even have brought that up. But now I'm just, there it is. I'm not going to cut it out because I said earlier, I don't like hard cuts like that. I'd rather try to just do the whole shot in one. To me, it seems more seamless. Like you and I are walking, together out there looking at it. That's why I want to try to, like, the way I want it to look. I want it to be just like me and you are just kind of there. See, there's some that I can do on the fly. Like if they're those random graves, as far as the Lady in the Rocking Chair type of thing, yeah, I can willing like. There's only so much information about those anyway, so you don't really have too much to learn. But if it comes to like Conway Twitty, like I didn't know he was as good as at baseball as he was, but um, yeah, the last editing, God, I know. Um, but it's one of those things. Like I learned that, doing it, and but the rocking chair thing, those kind of graves are really, you know, or like when we went to Vicksburg, it was more of just like me experiencing Vicksburg, and like you guys were just along for the ride. That like more almost like a reaction of the place. Plus, you guys got to see the history of it, and I think that I like shooting those too because there's not as much to have to like, you know, you don't have to remember as much or keep up with as much. Like trying to figure out which SD card and all of that stuff. It can get a little hectic sometimes. Or I've even formatted the SD card after, and that's really bad because I've already like burned my energy on the video the first time. So I have to go back and film the whole thing again because I hit the wrong button, or the GoPro stops filming, or my phone dies, and all those things. And it's a pain. That's why I like to try to shoot that shot once. And it's like, let's just go do this all together at one time. And we're not going to edit nothing. We're just going to do a one shot take. And let's try to, you know, do this together. GoPro's the way to go. That's what I got too. I use the phone every once in a while. The only reason I don't use the phone is if I'm in, selfie mode with it and I'm using it to talk, the audio doesn't work sometimes. So I always rely on the GoPro, but the GoPro is weird because after 5 minutes, it makes a new file. So, like, if I film for 10 minutes or 12 minutes, I've got three different clips that I have to use. And they're like GP, like, for instance, GP01, um, GP0101, right, for the first one, then GP0102, GP0103. But it's if it's the same clip, then it's like 101 and then 201 and then 301. It's weird trying to figure out if I film a lot, then trying to put all those in a somewhat logical order so I know which one to use, and it's a mess. The whole 5 minute thing. I don't know if there's not a way around it. I haven't figured out a way, and I don't know if that's because I'm shooting in 4K or 5K. Um, yeah, and if you go over the two, then it goes to a three. Like the longer you film, the higher that number will go. And I've watched some people, like there's a farming channel that I'm subscribed to on here. And I know he has to film 30, 40 minutes at a time. There's no way he's just getting a few shots of this and that. So I can only imagine how many GoPro clips he has to get that. Like that's dedication. Like I couldn't imagine having to try to piece that many clips together. See, I did 4K. The reason I do 5K on here, which I had to learn the hard way, they make a better SD card. They make an Extreme, right? And the Extreme is made for high file transfer, and um, it doesn't it doesn't freeze up as much on me. Like it works better because it's made to do that. For once, like I guess buying the cheap SD card was not the way to go. Yeah, I had to learn that kind of, and it overheats a lot. The the thing, I don't know why the GoPro overheats. Like I'm surprised. Like I'm streaming through the GoPro now, and the battery is out, which is probably what saved us. I have a little light on top, and I can't believe that it hasn't started going like dee dee dee, doing its little blinking and cutting out. Like I figured I would have already had to like type in the chat, sorry, whatever. Another thing I learned is with the GoPro, if you've got it on charge, don't have it on charge, unplug it, then try to play, because then that'll overheat it, because it's hot from charging and it's a mess. I've looked into the Sony. Hold on, let me tell you. I think probably by the end of summer, I can't just run out and spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So let me see. It's in my cart. The Canon, it's the PowerShot G7X, the Mark III. It's a more vlogger, like those Disney vloggers and those kind of people. That's what they use. And I think it might be the best for certain situations. It looks like it'd be okay. Plus, it has the zoom on it, which that's why I have to shoot in 5K. That's what I forgot. Because with the 5K, I can pinch in a little bit. Like if I go somewhere and I'm like, I know it's hard to see from here, but let me zoom in to show you. Then I can, in editing, I can pull it in tight, and it still doesn't look all blurry and messy like it can look. So that's why I shoot in the 5K. Like, yeah, the file size is freaking huge, but is what it is, right? I just have to offload everything onto. God, I hope I'm not boring y'all to death. I hope I offload everything onto an external hard drive to save it there, because I would run out of space quickly. Yeah, the audio sucks, right? The like you go through and you do all that. Like for me in Vicksburg, I had that happen. Yeah, it has 5K. So when you go into, because I use the 9, so go into like under your resolutions, and 5K will be next to it. I think it's 5K at 24 frames a second. That's what I use. Which, like I said, most people only watching 1080p. So it's more or less for like I shoot like that just to be able to zoom, just in case I need it. But like if I use the Canon, like if I'm going to get this Canon I was just talking about, then I'll probably just quit shooting in 4K altogether. Maybe shoot in 4K, but then I have the zoom with the Canon itself. Yeah. There's a Canon, and I think there's another brand I can't remember that I was looking at either one of them. They're both a toss up as far as which one's which. They both seem like really capable cameras. Yeah, because like my thing too is once you get to that certain spot, like you're going to cross a plateau soon, that once you get past a certain point, um, oh, I mean, you can like, you can do that, or, sitting on it. That's an option also. Either one of those. I needed that laugh. Thank you. Um, yeah, pretty soon you're going to cross the point, like you're using the GoPro and stuff like that. But um, I just bought a drone today. So we're gonna start getting drone shots soon. And it's like I'm glad you got like I can tell you guys, like I'm excited that now in the videos, um, probably next month, like maybe I'll start shooting in them soon, but I gotta figure out how to fly the thing. Uh um I'm gonna try to figure out something to do at the graves and um like that was probably my big purchase for the year, I think. Like it wasn't cheap. I mean, I didn't get like the good one, but I got a DJI, so I put the money in, like money that I'm making, I'm investing it back into the channel to try to, make the content better, to keep moving the thing forward, right? I don't want to stagnate. We got to keep on and going. And so I got to figure out some way to incorporate that in the videos, and especially like if I go do, battlefields and stuff like that. Oh, Jimi Hendrix, that grave is sweet. You're right. Like that's a pretty cool one. Um, that whole area up there in the northwest. See, that's the one I got. Well, I got the mini. I don't even remember which one I got. I guess it was the. Is it the two? Is that the latest one? I guess I could look and tell you. Let's see. Purchases. Let me see. Yeah, Kurt Cobain's up there. See, I got the mini too. So even for me, like I don't even care if I film that. Like to be able to go up there and see Cobain and Hendrix and stuff like that would be really neat, just for me as a person. Like, because they're two people that really influenced the way I think. Like, even though Hendrix was gone long before I was born, like his music still lives on, which is really neat. Yeah, the Bruce Lee and Brandon Lee, they're like right next to each other. Like, there's a whole thing up there. Like, you could stay up there for a freaking month and just do videos. Like, that would be really neat. Yeah, I bet there are people out there, right? Like, I don't understand how that works, but I kind of get it, and it would be kind of neat. See, I feel like I would crash it a lot. That's why I gotta learn how to fly the thing before I even do anything with it. But that would be cool to go out there and see who has to talk. Like, people have asked if I've noticed that when I go to these places, and every once in a while, it seems like how you kinda have that. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe you guys that have been out there, you kind of feel like there's, like, somebody saying something, but you can't hear it. I don't even know how to explain that. But, obviously, it's just me. But It you can feel a presence, like, I've done, you know, I've worked in that field. My dad was into it growing up, and I kinda understand what it's like, but I've never been able to speak to that, and that'd be really cool. Like, it's like you've unlocked, like, in a video game sense, like, you've unlocked a level, like, you've powered up, right? That's really cool. Alright. Well, I think I'm gonna have to end this thing. It has been 2 hours, which is like, what? Like, I don't even know how this is. Yeah, the EVP stuff, like, like that, man. I'm really into that too. Like, I do try to, like I said earlier, I really want that. I want Bigfoots and I want UFOs. Like, I want all that stuff to be real, but everything there's a limit to that stuff, and so I try to explain it away before I accept it, even though wholeheartedly it's like, that's gotta be true, but I try to be a little bit, nonsensical about it. But yeah, I think I've got to end this thing. It's been 2 hours, and I've got to. I got to get some kids ready for bed. It's that time. It's Sunday, work week, school week, all the week, right? Got to start life. The weekend's been a little bit of a break for me. Um, no, I can talk filming. Like, if you want to talk filming, hey, just send me an email or something. I can work with you on that. No, trust me, I have plenty of terrible jokes too. I promise you that. No, it's all good. Yeah. So maybe I don't know if I can do one this coming up Sunday, but if not, then we'll just keep going and going and going. And so Donna Summer will be out Thursday. Like, you guys are the first ones to know. So I think I'll make a post Tuesday or Wednesday about it, and then it'll come out Thursday. And then the following week, um, let's see. I'll let you guys pick. How about that? The following week, there's two. Are you ready? We're gonna go Minnie Pearl or Bobby Bowden. And those are the two I'm thinking about doing. Which would be I'd go film one this week for next week, right? So which one? And we'll go with the other one the week after that. Bowden it is. Can do. That's good because that's closer to me, by the way. I'll take that. All right, it's 50-50. So we gotta have a tiebreaker. Somebody, we gotta have a tiebreaker. And then we'll end it for the night. This has been fun 2 hours, by the way. Like it doesn't seem like it's been 2 hours. Like I can't feel my all right, so hey, mini wins. Sorry, Jeremy. By default. I mean, that's a 2-1 there, unless somebody else chimes in and ties it up. But yeah, this has been a great. I don't know. It doesn't seem. Yeah, see, that's a good like. That's why I did the Black History Month, and I didn't even think about doing anything for St. Patrick's Day. I don't. I just whiffed on that. It's one of those like tiebreaker for Bobby Bowden or Minnie Pearl. That's what we're going with for not this week, but next week. So this is a deciding vote. No pressure, Heather. Just say Minnie. See, all right, look at there, Minnie Pearl. Here we go. All right, so Jeremy says, all right, so you're with Jeremy. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Man, this is okay. So how about okay? So Minnie Pearl. Okay, so how about we do both? We'll do one on Monday and we'll do one on Thursday. Is that good? Sounds about good. And if I don't do, if I we'll do one or the other. Either we'll do two in one week if I can make it, or we'll do one week and one the next week. So either way, Bobby Bowden and Minnie Pearl are coming up. This week is Donna Summer, and then it'll either be a twofer the next week with Bobby Bowden, Minnie Pearl, or then one or the other the week after that. So yeah, but yeah, if you send me an email if you want to talk shop, I'm all about it. As far as trying to, because this whole thing is new to me. I hadn't been doing this a year, and we've already reached like crazy milestones. Yeah, because it's obviously Minnie Pearl's not her name, so I don't think that's a very I don't think that's a very visited. I was looking that up and was like, oh yeah, that's where I wanted to go to the the hometowns you always talked about, but I think it is too far. That's whatever that was called. I think it is too far from like where the it is to there. I don't know if I can make that haul. It's a good drive. Like I've been looking at the time frame, and I don't know if I can do it. So yeah, all right, that's it. I gotta end it. I do. I can't feel my butt anymore. Just to TMI, I gotta be honest with you guys. My butt's numb. So I don't I got a lot of weight sitting on them cheeks, and gravity is not friendly to a fat person. I'll add that to the yeah, that's the Sarah. Yeah, she had a four namer. And so I'll see you guys. If not this Sunday, maybe depending on if I'm on the road, we'll do another one, right? So anytime I'm on the road, I'm gonna do a live stream, whatever day it is. But yeah, you guys have a great week, and um, we'll catch up Sunday. And if not Sunday, then we'll do something. All right, we got to keep communicating. This is fun. I enjoy this. So yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one, and everybody have a good week. Try to make somebody laugh, make them smile. Tell somebody they look pretty, but not in a sexy way, because that'll get you in trouble. We'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much. I mean, honestly, like you don't know. Like honestly. See, okay, you said it. I wasn't going to do it. That I don't want to be the whole stereotypical. You never know, right? Okay. So I tell you what. Maybe next week we can talk about t-shirts and stuff too. So I'm trying to get some of those made. Maybe we can work on that. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. I mean, honestly, thank you for everything. Like, this is great. Like, we have like a community, and like, this is awesome. Like, this is so cool. Like, honestly, thank you.